Life can be so unpredictable, and it sometimes brings us to situations that can almost definitely spell the end. Yet, sometimes some people pull through despite the odds and defeat certain death in their lifetime. Here is a list of 10 people in the world who survived almost impossible situations. Before proceeding, do subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Todd Orr. Anyone who has seen the Leonardo DiCaprio movie The Revenant would know how dangerous it is to go near a mother bear or her babies. The Montana resident was out hiking when he unfortunately ran into a grizzly bear and her cubs. The grizzly mama immediately pounced on the unsuspecting man and left him with severe injuries. Orr managed to crawl away and make for his car, but the bear found him a second time and inflicted worse injuries. Fortunately for Orr, no arteries were severed, though he did suffer broken bones. Yet, knowing how powerful grizzly bears are, Todd Orr can thank his stars for he is lucky to be alive. Anna Bagenholm. Being trapped in icy waters is sure to spell immediate and certain death. However, Swedish radiologist Anna Bagenholm proved otherwise and survived an incredibly difficult circumstance in nature. Anna was skiing in the mountains of Narvik, Norway, when she lost her balance and fell into a frozen stream. The ice cracked open and pulled Anna in headfirst with only her feet and skis above the surface. Her friends tried desperately to rescue her, but to no avail. Finally, a rescue team arrived and pulled her out after drilling a hole in the ice. Anna had been underwater for an incredible 80 minutes. When she was pulled out, she was not breathing and her pupils were dilated. After spending several weeks on the ventilator, she recovered miraculously and is said to have faced one of the coldest body temperatures ever known to a human, a record-breaking 13.7 degrees Celsius. Anna is said to have survived as she found an air pocket under the ice that kept her alive. Vesna Vulovic. Vesna Vulovic went down in history for surviving the longest fall from an airplane that crashed. In the morning of 26th of January 1972, Vesna, a flight attendant with Yugoslav Airlines, was scheduled for travel between Copenhagen and Belgrade. However, as the ill-fated plane flew over the Czech Republic, it exploded mid-air. Rescuers were amazed to find Vesna still alive in the debris. She was the only survivor of among the passengers and crew to have made it alive and one of the few ever to survive a plane crash. Officially, Vesna fell over 33,000 feet. That is, a little next to 10 kilometers from the sky as the plane crashed. The Guinness World Records has even recognized her as the person to have survived the longest fall without the aid of a parachute. Hasrrison Okene. The sole survivor of a capsized tugboat, Hasrrison Okene went down with the sunken vessel and miraculously stayed alive through sheer presence of mind and willpower. Okene was the cook on board the Jackson 4, which capsized due to a heavy storm off the Nigerian coast. Using mattresses to stay above the water, Okene survived for 3 days in a tiny pocket of air in the tugboat 30 meters under the freezing water. He was finally rescued by divers who were shocked to find him alive. The rescue mission was captured on video and received media coverage worldwide. Okene truly lived to tell a tale of surviving against the worst of odds. Frane Selak. Frane Selak is a Croatian national who has earned the title of being the world's unluckiest man for his numerous brushes with death. His first brush with death happened when he was in his 30s when a train he was on got derailed and fell into a river. With broken bone in his arm, Selak was the only survivor of the catastrophe. Yet, his worries didn't end there, for his next brush with death came when a plane he was on as a passenger crash-landed. Selak survived as he was blown out of the malfunctioning door and he landed miraculously on a haystack. Escaping death once is tough enough. Twice seems truly impossible, but not for Selak. Poom Lim. Back in 1942, Poom Lim was a passenger aboard a freighter sailing from South Africa to South America. The vessel was torpedoed and sunk. Lim survived by getting onto a life raft, on which he survived as a real-life castaway for around 4 months. During this period, he braved the sea weather without proper clothing and hunted fish which he ate raw. He even reportedly killed a shark that was trying to make a meal of him. Poom Lim thought he was destined to perish someday at sea and gave up all hope. Much to his surprise, he was rescued by fishermen from Brazil. Lim's experience was truly the story movies are made of. Roy Sullivan. Roy Sullivan has truly gone where no man has before and made it. The United States Park Ranger was struck by lightning 7 times and survived each and survived them all. His ordeals had left him with burn marks across different parts of his body that bore witness to his incredible and fortunate survival. The surgeries he sustained ranged from the loss of a toenail to chest and hair burns. Sullivan's name even went into the Guinness Books of World Records for this previously unheard of survival experience. Unfortunately for a man who got so lucky, Roy committed suicide by shooting himself in the head for reasons unknown. Ben Nyaumbe. Ben Nyaumbe will go down in history as one of the few who actually escaped a dangerous encounter with a python. Nyaumbe was working on his farm in Kenya when he suddenly stepped on a python that was lurking in the dark. The giant reptile wrapped itself around him and proceeded to strangle Nyaumbe to death. Nyaumbe used his presence of mind, despite his situation, and started suffocating the python by covering its head with his t-shirt. This struggle went on for several hours. Nyaumbe finally broke free when he bit the end of the python's tail, thus causing the snake to release him in pain. Nyaumbe had a fortunate survival, as it is close to impossible to escape a python's strong grasp. Slavomir Rawich. Slavomir Rawich was a Polish army officer who was imprisoned in a Soviet gulag camp from which escape and survival seemed almost impossible. Yet Rawich managed to escape and walked across the Gobi Desert and trekked the Himalayas until he finally reached British-occupied Indian territory. The walk was no easy feat, as it took him over 4,000 miles across a wide range of unforgiving climates that claimed the lives of some of his companions. The entire ordeal took the army officer a year. Rawich's story was so incredible that it got turned into a Hollywood movie, The Way Back, starring Colin Farrell and Ed Harris. Before we unveil the final entrant on this list, it is time for our audience question of the day. Which is your favorite extreme survival movie? Do let us know in the comments below. Let's see which movie comes out as the most popular choice. Now, moving back to our list. Aron Ralston. Perhaps one of the biggest impossible survival stories out there is that of American adventurer Aron Ralston. The subject of the Danny Boyle film 127 Hours, starring James Franco. Ralston famously hacked his own arm off when he was trapped between boulders in the Blue John Canyon. Ralston was hiking in the Blue John Canyon, Utah, when a boulder got dislodged and left him trapped and partially crushed with no way to call for help. He had not carried a phone, nor had he informed anyone of his plans to travel. After finishing off his food rations, Ralston was prepared to starve to death when he suddenly thought of a mind-numbing idea that could make even the strongest stomachs churn. Using a pocket knife, Ralston cut off his trapped arm and freed himself. Covered in blood, he climbed out of the trap with the one good hand he had left and was fortunately discovered and rescued by a family on the way. This is truly the stuff legends are made of. Like what you saw? Do support us by hitting the like button, comment below, and let us know the ones you're eager to catch. Hope you enjoyed our video, and do not forget to share. For more great content, subscribe to our channel. See you next time.